Okay, now back to just looking at the sun. You don't literally want me to stare at this fucking sun.
No. Okay, so the reason I encourage people to get sunlight in their eyes, especially early in the day, is that it helps wake you up. It improves your mood, it improves hormone output, it improves focus. It's good for so many aspects of biology.
How do I do it without hurting my eyes?
And it helps you sleep at night. Okay, so what you want to do, people have different levels of sensitivity. You want to look in the general direction of the sun.
Okay.
If it's low in the sky, it's no problem. You could literally look at it like this. Now, the higher it gets in the sky, the more imposing it is, and you'll want to close your eyes. If it forces you to blink, you need to look away from it a little bit. Indirect light is fine on a really clear day.
Yeah.
If it's very, very bright and you need to blink, blink. I'd say take your sunglasses off for doing this. Eyeglasses and contacts are fine. And after, 2-3 minutes, you're good. Mm-hmm. And if you're walking to work in the morning, it's a nice sunny morning, but the sun, is New York, so a lot of the sun's blocked by these big buildings, you just get the indirect sunlight.
And that's okay too?
That's okay. But through a window, these tinted windows that are everywhere here, or through a windshield, it's not going to happen. It's just never going to set this mechanism in the ways you need. So if watching a sunset, you can literally watch it. Yeah. Right? Isla Vista, we used to watch sunsets, right? Yeah. We'd disappear off Del Playa with the oil rigs out there. And for the people who don't know, there are these oil platforms that sit off the beach in Santa Barbara, and it seeps up all this tar. But it's very beautiful sunsets out there, and you can look directly at it when the sun is low in the sky. When the sun is overhead is when it tends to be really bright. Don't stare at it directly.
And what is the advantage of this? It just wakes you up? There's something besides that?
So you have neurons, nerve cells in your eye that connect, that when that sunlight hits them, they send a signal to your brain that's a wake-up signal. Gotcha. Improves your mood, increases testosterone, it increases metabolism, it lets you focus better, and it sets a timer so that you can fall asleep at night about 12 to 16 hours later. If you're not getting light in your eyes, if you wake up and you're just on your phone, that's fine if the sun isn't out. But if you're on your phone for the first 2 hours a day and then you get outside and get sunlight and the sun's already overhead, and you go out with your sunglasses on, that kind of thing, you're going to find it's very hard to fall asleep that night.
Because you're not setting the timer.
That's right. Oh. Think of the morning bright light as your wake-up signal.
Got you.
Get as much sunlight in your eyes as you safely can throughout the day. I wear sunglasses, but not when I do this morning sunlight viewing. And then in the evening, try and catch some sun before it goes down. In the winter, obviously, that's going to happen earlier. Yeah. And then at night, you really want to try and dim the lights. I always say, like the fighters at the fight last night, like wearing sunglasses. Yeah. Dim the lights, dim the screens between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. Now, look, you guys were at the fight last night. I happen to be there too. I'm sort of a new UFC fan, so I'm not very educated on this, but it was really bright. It's not a big deal every once in a while to stay up late. I was up till 1:30, which for me is very late. But I would say 80% of the days and nights of your life, get some sunlight in your eyes and try and dim the lights at night. But you're in New York, bright lights, big city, right? So you're going to have to do a little bit more sunlight viewing in the early part of the day. Okay. And if you wake up and the sun isn't out yet, once it's out, get out there.
Okay.
It has huge outsized positive effects on your health.
I get it now because I didn't understand
it first. Like a lot of guys and women say, I don't feel well. I'm having trouble focusing. I'm having trouble sleeping. Yeah. Before we could get into any discussion about supplements or hormone therapy or ice baths and saunas, all that stuff is great. But the number one thing for health is going to be quality sleep. And the best way to get quality sleep is to get sunlight in your eyes early in the day. And on cloudy days, when you can't see the sun, people always say, there's no sun here. I'm like, the sun is still there. Yeah. It's just, and you get a lot of sun through those clouds. Just get outside a little bit longer.